Hi everybody, welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host Anabla. Welcome to episode 78. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so business casual chic today. Got some blue action going on. I've been living for blues, I've been in my blue era, low key. I feel like I look good in blues. I like darker blues, especially too, like navy. I've been like royal blue, like electric blue, like Aquaphor cat blue. I'm looking at my Aquaphor right now, like that color blue. I love that, just like pure bright blue. And I'm living for it, and I feel like it looks really good on me. I'm trying to figure out my undertone. I know my undertone, but I'm trying to figure out my palette, right? My seasonal palette. So I'm testing things out. I do think the darker colors look better. I feel like lighter colors kind of wash me out. So I'm trying to work on my wardrobe and build it up toward that direction so that it can just flatter me better, essentially. So I'm feeling very chic today. What a wild week. I literally okay, there's a few things on my pod notes for today's episode. There was some crazy wind this week in Los Angeles. That's where I'm based, for those of you that don't know. And on our street, there was literally one of the massive trees fell onto this guy's Jeep, fully, just the whole tree got uprooted. And I think we saw it was Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and I walked out and I saw this guy running toward it, and it turned out to be the owner of the Jeep. Poor guy. I mean, I don't know that the car is necessarily totaled, not no, it's probably not drivable. I'm realistically thinking about it, it didn't damage the engine area, the actual front of the car where the engine is. The tree wasn't anywhere near there. It was over the actual top of the middle to the end of the back of the car. But you know how Jeeps are cubes, essentially. It's that entire frame was displaced. So but it wasn't it crushed the whole thing down. It just got pushed off of the base of the car. I don't really know how else to describe it, but yeah, the tree just fully fell on this Jeep. I think if it was any other car, compact mid-sized vehicle, it probably would have been completely crushed to oblivion. But because it was a Jeep, it I don't know, it didn't really sustain as much damage as I would expect considering the size of the tree. I mean, those trees are massive. The trunk size is probably double or triple the size of the average palm tree here in LA. So it's a pretty hefty one. The top of the tree, the branches and the leaves and everything, that fell on another car across the street. The tree literally completely blocked the road. So no one got hurt. Everyone's okay. But yeah, I feel bad for that dude. His Jeep is royally fucked up, which totally sucks. But yeah, the wind has been crazy. It's been berry central. All these trees on my street also drop hella berries when it's windy or when it's hot, and it's I'm not parking on my street. I'm parking on the other street because it's crazy. I have a rental car right now because my car's in the shop, and I'm I don't want to I don't want to have to get this car washed a million times while I have it because of the berries. So anyway, yeah, that's been crazy. The weather is so back and forth. It was cold the last few nights, but then today it's gonna be 85 randomly. What? In the valley it's gonna be 90. What? The weather's just all over the place. So that is really crazy. Because of that, my skin is literally all over the place. I don't know what's happening. It's crazy. But I did want to share my dub of the week. This weekend, I did get to go see some of my little students perform. One of my voice students was playing Elsa in a little children's production of Frozen Junior, and she did such a good job. It was adorable. And then I have another student who plays violin. I don't teach violin. I've never played violin. I've never taken one single lesson of violin my entire life. But she's my piano student. She also takes violin, and she's in a little youth orchestra. It was cute. So that was my dub of the week. Getting to see my students thrive and perform. It was just so sweet, and it made me so happy. I watched Sinners finally, you guys. I know it's been a while. I am trying to watch everything leading up to the Oscars, but I've been so incredibly busy. I've been outside, you guys. I've been very busy with hangs and sessions, and I just have a lot of things planned. I haven't really had much downtime to be watching stuff, but I did squeeze in some time this last weekend to watch Sinners, and I freaking loved it. It the context of this is really crazy because last week I was fully like, yeah, Timothée Chalamet deserves the Oscar. And then he had to go and say that bullshit about ballet and opera. And it's just like, I mean, you can have your opinions, but like objectively, those are like respected art forms. Like, I'm with Doja Cat on this. It's like that. You can have your opinion, but to just make a blanket statement about two incredibly unique and popular and timeless and respected and loved art forms is like, come on, bro. You don't have to be so like I don't know, judgmental or like put your opinion about these and project your personal opinions into like a truth about something. Obviously it's not true, you know. So like it's so crazy because like up until last week I would be like, yeah, like he deserves the Oscar. That was an amazing performance. But I was super impressed by Michael B. Jordan playing obviously two characters. Like that was super, super cool. I think it's different. The context of this was very different than like any other role I had seen him in. Admittedly, I haven't really seen like every single one of his films, so now I feel like I'm inspired to, like, I've never seen like the Creed films. Like there's a lot of stuff that he's done that I'm like completely remiss to, so I do need to like go and deep dive and like maybe just watch more like Michael B. Jordan stuff because I was very impressed by his performance. This movie was so unique to me. Small spoiler alert, skip to
11 minutes and 3 seconds.
If you don't want to be spoiled, but like vampires? What? Vampires? That was totally left field for me. I mean, the context of the film being in like what, the 30s or 40s in the South, like I assumed the kind of themes around it were going to be like voodoo or I don't know, like spiritual, like religious kind of like I don't know. I had that sense that it was like, especially because it was like marketed as like a thriller or a horror. My assumption was that it was gonna be maybe like possession or like something like that. But the fact that it was vampires was like totally cool. That like threw me off guard. I thought it was very interesting. I also went completely blind into this film. I didn't watch trailers. I didn't read any like descriptors, any like synopses. Like I literally just went in blind. I was like, I don't want to know what it's about. I just want to watch it because everybody had been hyping it up so much. And yeah, it really exceeded my expectations. There were some really amazing, beautifully like symbolized like themes in this. The scene in the barn where there were different like eras of like music crossover, that was super freaking cool. Everyone's, I mean, and I put this in my notes to be honest, everyone's acting was so incredible that like, I don't know, Michael B. Jordan was fantastic, but it was hard for me to see him as like a standout, like as a standout acting, like his performance as a standout performance, because everyone was so just believable and like entrenched in their roles, and it was very well written also, so it was like hard for me to be like, oh my gosh, like this one person was like so amazing, because really everybody was very strong. But yeah, I mean, the fact that he played two roles, the story behind this, I think it's just so so unique and so incredible. It's such an interesting way to like tell this kind of story. I was talking with my friend Dion, who's been on the pod, y'all. I'll link the pods with Dion here in the description. But like we were talking the other night, and he pointed something out to me that I like don't think I really registered it in the moment until he said it. But like the lead vampire being Irish and like coming to like, and to an extent like invite these people of color in the South that were like, obviously it was still like segregation, there was still a lot of racism, there was literally still slavery happening, like it even though it was the 30s, it was like there was still this like oppressive force obviously in the South at the time, and they were not seen as equal, and they were treated with a lot of like disrespect still, regardless of any laws that may have been passed or whatever. So it's still like not, you know, like a good energy and not a safe space for Black people in the South. And just for an Irish person to reach out and extend that kind of like rescue almost. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I didn't even like think of it in that way. And like there is that like common thread between like pretty much anybody that's dealt with oppression or colonialism and has had to resist colonialism and resist the erasure of their culture. There's this like thread tied between all kinds of like indigenous people and countries and cultures that have had to resist that. And so I didn't even like draw that parallel, and I think it was so beautiful and made me connect even more so with the story. And I want to kind of go back and watch the film again, because I feel like maybe there are things like that I didn't fully digest when I watched it the first time. It's one of those films that I kind of just want to watch again and like experience again and see if I pick up on anything else. So yeah, I really loved it. I highly recommend you guys watch it if you haven't already seen it. It's super unique and very entertaining, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. And yeah, anyway, I highly recommend it, so definitely go check it out. Speaking of the Irish, you guys, it is literally Irish month and like Women's Month. Like, period. Of course they're on the same month, right? I was also talking to Dion about how like matriarchy and how like Irish culture is like kind of matriarchal. We're talking about like culture and stuff like that, and like duh, of course, like my thirst of the week is Irish soda bread, you guys. I mean, okay, I've had like actual Irish soda bread. Like my family members have made it. I've had it in Ireland. Like I know what it's supposed to taste like. It's not super sweet like a lot of the places here make it. For example, Sprouts, the grocery store, has like soda bread that they sell. I haven't shopped at Sprouts personally like in a long time, but like I used to shop there regularly, and they like have it as like a regular like product like with their breads in the store all the time, I think. Someone correct me on that if you've like been to Sprouts recently and you like have never seen it. But when I used to shop there, I used to like always have it. It was delicious, but it was like covered in like an outer layer of like sugar, which not super traditional. And then I got the Blarney scone from Trader Joe's, which I think is like such a cute name. That's a little bit more on the traditional side, although it's a little sweeter, you know. It has like the raisins or currants or whatever, which like it's kind of like 50-50. Like I've had soda bread that had like none of that in it, that was just like plain. I've had some that are like a little on the like a touch of sweetness with currants or raisins or whatever, like so both are kind of like a thing, but I will say the Trader Joe's one is like closer than any other one that I've had that's like been store bought, although I've only had those two. It's like I don't know if there's other grocery stores that are making it and selling it. It's just like not super common. But if you want to try the Trader Joe's one, I'd recommend it. It is just on the sweet side. Like traditionally we just put like butter and like maybe jam on it, but I'd recommend it. The jam isn't necessary because it's like kind of already sweet on its own, but with some Kerrygold, y'all, some Kerrygold, right? I highly recommend it. So that's my thirst of the week. And I really I should be like in my bread era. Like I literally have a fridge magnet that's like Irish bread like recipes. I have two. One's like soup, like Irish soups, and one's Irish bread. And I've like never really gone into that. I also want to make like brown bread. That's a goal of mine, is to be able to like whip up an Irish traditional like brown bread just like that. And to like make it weekly would be like freaking sick. Homemade bread is always like a million times better than store-bought, so maybe I'll like get into that. Making some brown bread. But yeah, so that's my thirst of the week. Okay, I do have 2 album reviews for y'all this week. First being Jacob Collier's most recent album. It is in the folk category. It is titled The Light for Days. I have always been a Jacob Collier fan. I think he's such a unique artist. He's such like a little like music genius. Like it's like actually unfair. I'm personally a fan of him. I know some people are like, specifically musicians, or like, I don't know, like haters. Maybe they're just jealous, to be honest, but I've always been a fan. I never knew that I needed a folk album from him. I never saw that coming. He's always done like primarily jazz, like jazz fusion. kind of experimental jazz stuff and like R&B. He's done like crossover kind of stuff, like genre-wise. But this was such a treat. I want him to make more folk music so bad. This album is amazing. The 5 songs that I saved that were my favorite were Thom Thumb. I don't know if it's Tom Thumb. It's spelled Thom. Thom. Okay. Tom Thumb is what I'm going to say. His cover of Norwegian Wood. I was like, what? As soon as it started, I was like, is this what I think it is? It's so good, you guys. I really like it. He did such a good job with it. I also saved I Know a Little, Icarus, and Something Heavy. I mean, you guys, it's such a treat. If you're in the mood for like some folk music, I highly recommend just listening to this album all the way through. There's only 11 tracks. It's kind of a short album, and I saved 5 out of the 11. So pretty good. Save rate. All I can say is I want more folk from him now. I'm needing more folk, you guys. Like, in general, I've been like writing more folk. I've been kind of in that like zone right now. It's what has been coming from the ether to me as I write, and so I want to dive into more folk. If you guys have any recommendations of like specific artists that are like jaw-dropping or new or groundbreaking when it comes to folk, please let me know. I would love to check some new stuff out. All right, the next album that I dove into was Tiacorine's Carinian. This came out like end of last year. It's in the hip-hop rap category. When I heard Freaky T, you guys, I like instantly became a fan of her. This album is really fun. That is like the main descriptor I could give it. It's just like fun, like straight up. I saved 8 tracks off of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think total the album is 17 tracks, so that's like pretty good. My favorite tracks were Pretty with Saweetie, Ironic, Lotion with Flo Milli. That song's crazy. Fall in Love, Cutting Ties. I really like Cutting Ties. That's probably my favorite. Other than Damn Right with Puya, Iced Out, Kirby, and High Demand with Smino. That track is fire too. So honestly, you guys, half of these I saved to like my Zesty playlist. I have a playlist that I've had since college that's titled Zesty. That's like kind of the birth of the Zesty Thoughts zeitgeist and like the world that I'm living in here. It's all just like ass shaking. Anything that like gives me confidence, essentially. It's aura, it's fun, it's energy, it's like a hype, kind of a hype playlist. But yeah, so I saved a lot of these songs to that playlist. I also saved a lot of them to my workout playlist. So I highly recommend listening to this album if you just want some like fun, uplifting, like lit music. I really like it. And the description on Apple Music says the NC rapper rounds out her trilogy, flexing her range and her contacts. I think that's a really good descriptor for this project. It does have a lot of range, but all in all, it's just fun. So I highly recommend y'all check it out. I've also been nerdied out watching videos about Venice, Italy, because tell me why I didn't know that they had like wood, like it was like trees underneath, okay? I always knew that it was like little islands. I didn't understand that the islands had to be like literally reinforced with wood, like trees, like entire tree trunks, like beams essentially made of wood, in order, like before they built anything on it. Like that's crazy. I watched this video. I'll put it in the description because I was like, what is happening? What? I didn't know any of this. I knew that Venice was like sinking, but I was like, how and why? I didn't know how that even works. But essentially, like, it's like a marsh kind of, but there's like little islands, but like they don't even support like the weight of like a person. Like you can't stand on them, or you couldn't, I guess, stand on them and them support the weight of you. So it was like, how did they go from that to that? Apparently they like ravaged a bunch of forests for like 2 specific types of trees. One of them was like oak and like another one. And they like planted them into the water, into the soil and like clay, like matter underneath the water. And apparently those specific clays that were in the earth mixed with the trees, like they like solidify the trees and almost like petrify them to the extent that they're like stable and they don't rot and they like get stronger over time, which is crazy. Okay, how did they even figure that out, right? And then they put wood, like they used those as foundation, and apparently there were like millions millions of trees, in the millions, which is like, how does that's so like inconceivable. It's crazy. And then they put like wood on top of that and structures on top of that, and then like built up from there. I'm like, no wonder it's sinking, you guys, because it's just trees. It's literally built on trees, which is crazy to me. I mean, they're over time, like I said, they get harder over time. They like solidify. I don't even know the word that they use to describe it, but it's just so crazy to me. And then like the tides can affect, obviously there's a lot of flooding. And as much as I've like always wanted to visit Venice, knowing that about it, I'm like, oh, they should like ban tourism. But like maybe they need it to like financially take care of the city. Or they should just like limit it and just make it more expensive to go there so that they can still benefit from tourism, but like it not negatively impact the city. Because that's always a thing, right? Tourism is always like negatively impacting environments. Maybe not always, but like vast majority of tourist destinations, like tourism can negatively impact, but like if that financial gain, I guess, from the tourism is like enough to override that negative impact, then like cool, I guess. I don't know how you can like manage that. I'm sure that a lot of cities around the world deal with that like dilemma of like, okay, well, how many tourists can we actually take, specifically a place like that that's like physically sinking like annually more and more. It's like, what? Like how do you even begin to be like, okay, well, how do we deal with this? How do we make it not sink, or how do we reinforce it? I mean, now there's obviously more technology. There's technological advancements that probably could like help a lot. But it's just crazy to think about. So I've been kind of nerding out on that this week and doing research on it. It's crazy to me. I had no clue that there were freaking trees under there. That's actually nuts. I'm like, how does it stay? How does it float? It's like, how do like cruise ships float, right? That's crazy to me. There's certain things like that where I'm like, how does that even, and how did you discover, humans are wild. All that is freaking wild. So for that reason, today's emoji of the episode is going to be like the wood. It's like a tree trunk wood emoji, or it's like a few pieces of wood. It almost looks like firewood. So that's going to be the emoji. I'm going to try to do an emoji of every week. I'm trying to get people to engage with the pod. Y'all, please comment and engage with the pod. I love to like comment back and like gab with people in the comments. So please comment the wood emoji, and then like, I don't know, gab if you feel so inclined. That is going to wrap up today's episode, y'all. I hope that you have a wonderful, relaxing, peaceful week. I hope your weekend is filled with fun and joy and relaxation. And have fun, be safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.